In this tutorial, we are going to use Gamefroot to make an awesome e-safety theme platform game. Now, Gamefroot is absolutely fantastic. It's incredible. It's an incredible tool. So, without further ado, go to gamefroot.com and then head on over to the login button. Once you're there, you can sign into this using your Google account. Then when it loads, it looks something like this. So we are going to create a game based on the Gamefroot Classic template. So click onto that, and then it looks a little bit like this. And yes, there we go. It should look like this when it loads. So there's a button here called Let's Go. It's really important that you click onto that because then it will load all of the media that we need. So I'm going to discard everything I have already created in a previous version, and then it looks a little bit like this. Now this is the game editor in the middle, but let's see what this game looks like so far. So I'm going to click onto play, and then just like any other platform game, we click onto play, and then we can use the arrow keys to control the character. We've got story points. We can tell a story as we go through our game. We've got keys that we can collect. What else have we got? We have got, here it comes, a moving platform, which I totally missed there. I've practiced this I don't know how many times, and I still can't do it first time. More story points. We have got switches. This acts as like a little teleport, brings us back up to the top there. Click onto the platform, jump over through the door because we've got the key, and then that's it. Hurrah, we've finished the game. So I'm going to click onto close, and now we're going to create our own level. Now there is a tutorial for this on the right hand side, but for the purpose of this video I want you to follow what I do here. So I'm going to close that for a moment, and then under levels here we can see the existing levels. I'm going to add a new level. Now it calls this level 4 because it's a fourth screen, but we are going to call this e-safety themed level. I think that makes more sense. And then I'm going to drag that all the way up to the top, so as soon as we hit the play button it will start on this particular level. Now back to media, and you can see here that I've got layers. So if you've used something like Photoshop before, you'll be aware of how layers work. Essentially, different types of objects should go onto a different layer. I know it sounds technical. You'll know what I mean in a moment. So I'm going to scroll down and find a background that I can add in my game. So that's a nice bright background. I'm going to add this one. What do you think? Do you approve? Does this look okay? I hope it does. I don't know why that's still called level 4, because I thought I renamed that one. Maybe it will update at some point, but never mind. Here we go. So I'm going to position that in the top left-hand side. Don't worry about adding multiple backgrounds. You only need to add one, because Gamefroot's quite clever. It will automatically resize and reposition the background as and when we need it. So back over to layers. I'm going to click on this little add button, and I'm going to add a new layer. No, I'm not going to add a new layer. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to add a special type of layer, so I'm going to delete that one, add new tile map, that's it, and I'm going to call this terrain tiles. Now with this is a special kind of layer, and we can use it to add our terrain. So I can choose a terrain brush, and then using my brush tool I can draw out what I want this terrain to look like. So I've got a brush I can draw with, I've got an eraser too if it goes wrong, and I can use the hand here to move about as well, or there's a navigator here, or there's the middle mouse button if you're using a mouse that you could also use. So I'm going to do that rather quickly. I'm going to pause the video and finish that off. Okay, there goes. I've put in my terrain so it looks something like this. I'm sure that you have got far more time than I have to create one that looks a little bit better. This bit will become clear as we progress with the game. So let's add a player. So I'm going to add a new layer and call this player. Now the benefit of using the layers is that you can make layers visible and invisible, and make sure that you select the layer that you're currently working on. So we've only got one player to choose from, which is this ninja person. I hope it doesn't look too too bad. It's pretty cool, isn't it, actually? Ninja player, so that's the player. Then let's add a weapon. I am going to add, the only weapon that we've got is this little gun here, which we can collect. And on this layer as well, I'm going to add a bullet. Now I know I said I only have one layer per type of object, but I'll make an exception for this one, because it's still easily accessible. Now the bullet can be anywhere, it doesn't matter where it is. We've just got one type of bullet so that the Gamefroot knows what kind of projectile we want to use from the gun. So I'm going to click on add as well, and I'm going to add a story point. So we're going to have some story points in our game. So if I scroll down, don't use anything from uncategorized, by the way, because that's from an old version of Gamefroot. They probably won't work. So we've got switches, checkpoints, not a checkpoint. Sometimes people confuse the checkpoints with the story points. So here's a story point, and I'm going to put on here a little message which says going down is, or giving away your password is a bit like instant death, like going down. So under that checkpoint, if I go back to terrain tiles, I'm going to add a few more with my terrain brush under here, but down here I'm going to add a form of instant death. So I'm going to create a new layer and call this instant death, and we are going to have death by, what would you like death by? Skulls, cactus, spiky things. I think I will choose these. Death by strange cactus looking eating plants. It looks like something from Little Shop of Horrors. There we go, that looks scary enough, doesn't it, I think. So we've got a story point that goes with this. Then I'm going to create another story point, so I go back to my story points layer, and I'm going to put on here, not everyone is who they say they are on the internet. So to go with that, I'm going to put in a little baddie character. So I'm going to create a new layer again and call this NPC. NPC stands for non-player component. No, non-player components. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's essentially where we can put baddies. So there's one here that looks a bit like Batman, which is usually a good guy, but in this game it's going to be the bad guy, which we're going to have to destroy. Now don't worry that Batman's facing the wrong way. Batman will turn around as it chases you, and then we can have a go destroying Batman. So that's Batman. Then over here I was thinking, let's add a moving tile. Right, and a moving tile, as the name suggests, means that it can move. But I don't want it to move to start off with. I want this to be inactive, because I want it controlled by a little switch. Now I need to set its end location where it's going to move to. So to do that, I can use this button here, click onto that one, then click where I want it to end. So when it's turned on, it will move to that point and back again. So let's put a switch in which controls it. So new layer, one for switches, and then let's add a switch that controls it. Now for this to work, I just need to make sure that the name of the tag here, moving tile, matches the name of the tag here, moving tile. So long as they both match up, this switch will control this particular platform. So can you think of a story point that would work well with that? Any ideas? Something to do with the internet and switches. How about something like make sure you switch your social media. Would help if I can spell. Switch your social media profile to private to keep out weird people. Something like that. So we've got a story point which now goes with this switch. Now, what else can we add? Let's add some keys that can open a door, because very often on the internet we need to make sure that we've got the right passwords to be able to access bits and pieces. So I'm going to add a key. Let's put it down here somewhere. Let's add a story point to go with that. Have you got any idea for a story point that we could use? How about something like, make sure you have a strong password as the key to your each account. How about unique strong password as the key to each account? Then maybe you could create a level with different keys on, and you've got to get the right key to open the right door. Just an idea, just putting it out there. Okay, let's add a new layer, and then we're going to put a door that matches with that key. So I'm going to scroll down and find somewhere here is a door. Did I scroll right by it? Did you? Oh, there they are, door. So I'm going to put a door here. And as long as this tag here, door, matches up with this tag here, door, then this key will open this door. Then all what we need now, I think, is an endpoint so we can complete the level. So under endpoint, I'm going to add little flag. There we go. Now, will this actually all work first time? Let's see. So I'm going to click on play. It does its thing. We collect the weapon. Giving your password away is a bit like instant death, so we're not going to go down there. Not everyone on the internet is who they say they are, like Batman. Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh, there we go. Batman is now destroyed. The fake Batman, that is, not the real one. Switch your social media to private. I was going to put some more cactus underneath there, but never mind. So that's the moving platform. Make sure you have a unique strong password. And through the door. And then we've completed the level. So I'm going to close that. Now if I go back to levels, you can, if you want to, put that start screen before your level, so it will display that play screen before it goes on to the next level. What's probably quite important to do is to save it from time to time. So I'm going to go to File, Save Game, and I'm going to call this eSafety Platform Game. So then the next time I go onto Gamefroot, I will be able to load it. And there we go. So that's the basics of creating a platform game with Gamefroot. So have fun, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with.